The head coach of the Oregon State Beavers, Jonathan Smith, joining us, coming off a 7-6 record. They didn't get to play Arizona. They won't play this year. So I told you in the elevator, I get to root for you all season long because you're not playing the Wildcats.
Yeah, love it, man. Yeah, cheers on.
Talking to some of your players, and we just got a chance to meet Alex Austin. Impressed.
Yeah.
Impressed with him as a young man. I'm going to talk behind your back in front of you. I've been telling everybody as I walk through the schedule, I look to see what Oregon State has this year. I'm telling people right now, do not sleep on Oregon State. I think there's something special for you this season, and I think this is a team that people better make sure that they do not take for granted and don't overlook you on the schedule, because I saw the way you played last year.
Yeah, I think we've made some progress, and we're excited about playing another year. I do think that you got to earn wins, and not just in this league. I look at our non-conference. Boise State has predominantly been a big-time program for a long time. We go to Fresno, and there's nothing easy about doing that. They got a returning quarterback in a program that's on the rise and won a bunch of games. So we know we got to work for it. We do feel like we've made progression in the program to where we're in this year that each time we line up, we got a chance to win if we play well.
What's been how have you organized this? I guess is the question I'm asking. That I've seen this steady progress. Now I think you're year 5. And now you have all your own players, and you have your culture, and you have things set, and it just seems like this is the year that I think things are going to take off for you.
Yeah, I think our initial approach was to have some patience. Again, working through, knowing that, building a foundation takes some time, and we went through that. I do like our roster. I think we got a lot of players that have been in the program for a while that are good and quality. We got some depth at a lot of different spots. But again, each year's new. You're counting on some of your younger players to step up and be ready to go. And then these games oftentimes come down the fourth quarter. You need a play on offense or defense to put you over the top.
How hard is it to be patient? I'm not a patient man. Are you?
It's not easy, especially in a competitive business now. But I do appreciate the way Oregon State approached it when we first got here to compare to where we're now. They gave us some time to do it in year 1 and lay a foundation. And honestly, we were competitive year 2. We went 5-7. We were first down from going to a bowl game in our second year. And so, there was definite strides taking place. And it's tough to win, man. I mean, it is not easy to do it. And so, again, last year we won more than we lost, but we'd love to this year win more than we did last year.
Talk to me about the competition level in the Pacific 12 Conference. Yeah. It seems like we beat each other up and knock each other out of opportunities to go into the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's somewhat accurate. I mean, there's only 4 spots in this invitational playoff thing. And, when you play a conference that, again, is so competitive and in so many programs, there are some good coaches, good players. I mean, there's game planning. You get in late in the year, travel, late-night games. You can get caught. And so that's taken place the last few years, but I love it. I love it that it's so competitive that each year, I mean, counting on, Jed this year, Arizona, those guys are going to look dramatically different. And so each year you bring your A game if you want to win a game.
For this conference, so much upheaval. I have to ask you about this. What are you telling your fans, your boosters, your players about everything that we've seen in the last month?
Yeah. I think on a personal side, and I've said this, is like I grew up in Southern California. I grew up going to UCLA and USC games. It's disappointing for me to think about them not in the league here in a few years. At the same time, I got some confidence in the tradition, the history of the West Coast and the Pac-12 in general, the rivalries we have established. At the end of the day, after all the dust settles, that we're going to be fine. But there's no question it's disappointing to see those 2 schools potentially be leaving.
When I look at all of this, and I do get one sense, and I said this to the commissioner last year, this should be a celebration of Pac-12 football, and I kept saying that to people, and I think I was speaking, shouting into the wind because nobody else was saying the same thing I was. I got a different feeling this year that we're all going to rally around each other. Like I said, I'm going to root for you. I'm going to root for other Pac-12 schools, especially when we're playing the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the SEC. I think we have to for our own good.
It would definitely help for us to, pull together, but also play well in non-conference play. There'll be some benefit there, and so I'll be definitely cheering in September for all the Pac-12 schools to be beating some people. And we got too many good things, good people, good coaches, good players for this thing to fall apart, and that's why I'm back to having some confidence that it won't.
Tell me something good about college football. Because all I hear, listen, so I work at CBS, so I do the national shows. And last week I felt myself complaining about realignment, and I was getting mad at USC and UCLA, and I'm getting mad at the Big Ten. And all I'm doing is just spending 2 hours, and it's just toxic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went to break. I'm like, come on, I got to do something positive. So help me. Give me something good about college football.
I'm with you because there's a lot of noise and a lot to think about and outside the realm. I think about it like I signed up. I wanted to be a football coach. And what we're headed towards starting next week, we got a training camp, we got practices, we've got a roster, we've got a bunch of guys that are anxious about and excited about the season. That's why you coach. You want to dive into those guys, players, help them improve through camp, get ready for a season. All that's still in front of us. And so it's still a beautiful thing. There's nothing better than a college football locker room after a win and watching these 18 to 22-year-olds kind of celebrate and achieving something together. All of that's still a part of college ball.
I've been doing this for almost 30 years, so I'm an old man now. doing this talk radio, and I've been a baseball broadcaster, a football broadcaster, and I've been on the sideline at every college in America. I've been on the sideline of the National Football League. But one year I got a chance to be a get-back coach for a high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Cathedral Catholic down in San Diego. We got a bunch of players in the Pac-12 now, and they won the state last year in California. And I didn't do any real coaching. I was just get back coaching, guys. Get back. Or I
stay
have
off
to
the white.
stay off the white. Or I have to go run and grab the coaches and pick them up and bring them back. So we didn't get any. And we only had one sideline warning. So I think I did my
Just
job.
a warning. Okay, good.
Just a warning. But I tell people, I told the coaches this. I said, you know what? I've done, like I said, I've been to the Super Bowl, the World Series, done all that. But there's nothing like this experience I had. Had a kid. He had a penalty. The coaches yelled at him. Went in the sideline. He's crying. I walk over, put my arm around him. Okay, let's visualize what we're going to do. And I spent about 10 minutes with him because he was just distraught. Second half, he goes in, makes a play, win the game.
Nice.
He comes running off and hugs me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why you guys do it.
Yeah.
That's the most incredible feeling in the world.
Yeah. There's nothing better than those game days, helping guys go through situations, circumstances. And it's such a microcosm of life as well. Those games, those 60 minutes of ball in those situations, but life is going on for all of them throughout the 365 days. But the sideline's a beautiful thing, man. It can have some ups and downs.
Yeah.
There's no question during the games, but you can really make an impact not only on that game but on that player in a positive light.
When they come back years later and they've got a family and they got kids, they go, "Hey, I want you to meet my coach."
Yeah,
and they say, "Here's coach. Here's what I'm doing after. I'm a good dad. I'm a good father. I'm a good man."
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it because you dive into these places, you recruit them, you go into their homes, you meet their families. They're 17, and then you help them through life over those college years, and hopefully, they go chase this NFL dream down. But a lot of them don't, and then the opportunity for them to be able to come back or get that late call. When, hey, at 8 years down the road, I've married, got a young one going, I got a job, and you made a positive impact. Those are the type of calls or conversations you love having.
All right, since we're talking about good things in college football, one more for you. Who was that guy for you?
Yeah, I did have some great high school coaches that made a huge impact on me.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Glendora High School, not too far from here, down in Southern California. I do think the impacts my college coaches had on me. Mike Riley was my first head coach. Paul Christ, who's at Wisconsin, was my quarterback coach at the time, and they introduced me to the game, but also like being authentic to themselves. Dennis Erickson, was head coach, had a huge impact on me on the competitive side of the game, and so that's really why I wanted to be a college coach. The impact my college coaches made on me, I wanted to kind of return the favor and do the same thing.
So as a media, do we need to stop talking so much about the money and the business side of it and make sure we tell these stories?
I mean, I think both of them. Let's face it, that's a hot topic that's people are interested in and want to talk about. And so realignment and transfer portal and name, image, all of that is part of the game, and so it needs to be talked about. I just think like if we can equally talk about so many of the positives that are going on in the game would be a good thing.
All right, I'm going to give my word. I'm going to try to be a little bit more balanced, talk about the good things in football. And I'd love to get you on the national show as well and spend some time just talking about the positives that we get out of kids playing this game.
Yeah, I'd be totally into it, and I can rattle off multiple examples, not just our place, all the places. Right. I mean, in Arizona and all of them, that guys are going to school, playing college football, great experience, but also really helping their lives down the road.
Coach, I appreciate you taking time to join us. Jonathan Smith, head coach Oregon State. Again, Arizona's not going to play you this season, so I'm going to be 100% rooting for the Bees. I might buy a hat. I might
There you go,
I
yeah.
might get some gear.
Rock a hat on a Saturday or
yeah,
something.
and wear it because I'm going to be pulling for you and the rest of the Pac-12 teams.
Awesome.